Popular Celebrities podcast is all unofficial. None of the conversations or comments from us or guests represent the DoD or the armed forces.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
Oh, shoot. Season 2. Squid Games. What up? Oh, let me turn this down.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
Are you like really in character? Super in character right now.
Yes, I'm super excited. Super excited.
I can't remember how to do this one. All right, we on the old platform, y'all. Quick review. We just got done watching Squid Games season 2, episode 1 of Squid Games. We're gonna give you guys an episode 1 preview, review, and thoughts. Ooh, I got some good thoughts. If y'all didn't see it yet, spoiler alert are coming. So if y'all haven't seen it yet, and y'all want to go back and watch it, we will give a lot of spoiler alerts. What's up, everybody in the building? Yeah, everybody here live. DC resident Squid Games character is in full character with his Squid Games mask on. What's up with you?
I should look good. I still look good with this mask on. I'm impressed.
I mean, you look a lot better with it on, to be honest. But we're here. Are you gonna leave that on the whole time? It's kind of hard to understand.
No, I'm gonna take it off here in a second.
Thank goodness.
Hey, so I just want to remind everybody, just like Pete said, if you have not watched this already, don't listen to this show tonight unless you want to be, hear some spoilers. There's nothing worse than I hate when I go to a show and no one warns you that there's spoilers. This is a popular show, obviously, so we don't want to spoil it for anyone. So if you have not watched episode 1, don't listen to the show.
But you sound like, are you using your voice mod? You don't sound like you're talking to your mic. You sound like you're talking in your headphones.
Interesting. I might be. Give me 1 second. It does sound weird.
Yeah.
Continue on.
Okay, so episode 1 just saw it tonight. If you don't know, it came out today. All 7 episodes, 6 episodes, I think, came out today. But we're only doing episode 1 today. Great review where we're at. So first and foremost, it starts off with there's really 3 main points characters of episode 1. So you got nope, nothing.
You hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, that's strange. Oh, interesting.
So first thing, so in the beginning you got if you guys remember from season 1, which it gives a good recap of season 1 up front, but the guy who won, number 554, because I'm not going to pronounce anybody's name tonight, 554 came up there and he was 456. I'm sorry. I got dyslexia. 456. The winner of season 1 came on there and he was getting on the plane. If you remember, he got a phone call and they said basically just get on the plane, use your money, start your life. And in season 1, he turns around. Well, season 2 takes off from that point.
Right.
So really 3 main plots. So the first one I want to get into is 456 is paying people money to find. Oh, it's 2 years later. 2 years later, right? And he's paying people money to find the guy who started this all off. So remember the season 1, they were throwing the cards on the ground in the subway. He won the game, and that's how he got selected to go to Squid Games, right?
Right.
So that's how it kind of starts, is that way. And so he's paying these people a lot of money to go find these people. So that's episodes or storyline 1. Anything on to add on that?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool how they started off that way. Because if you remember from the last show from episode or season 1, it showed him trying to come to grips with reality that the show was over or the game was over. And then he was about to go on this plane to see his daughter. Because if you remember,
the daughter,
in the last episode, he told the other player that if he won the money, he would be a better father to his daughter.
Right.
And so when he was getting on the plane and he got that message on his phone and he decided not to get on his plane. So I thought that was pretty cool. So he went back to go find out or find the place where they had the games and find the front man and such. And so now with episode 1 starting, he uses the majority of his money to hire all these thugs, which was ironic because the actual people he hired was the people he owed money to. If you remember in episode 1, when he was betting on horses, those are the people that was coming after him for money.
Great point.
And so it's ironic that he started paying him all this money to find this guy who he met in season 1 that was playing that card game. I can't pronounce the name of it, so I thought that was pretty good.
We're not gonna. Okay, so that's a great add to scenario 1 in episode 1. Well, storyline 1. So we'll go to storyline 2. So if you remember the brother who was going to look for his brother in season 1, he found his brother who was the guy who had the mask on like Philly did at the beginning, who kind of like the head man of this whole thing. And he found him. That's his brother. He shot him off the cliff and he fell off the cliff, fell in the water. And that's all we heard from him. Well, fast forward to season 2 is he's a cop now. And as a cop, he goes out to the water to try to figure out where he was dumped at to try to find these games because he's still looking for his brother. So they saw with a fisherman, they go out there, they're going looking and they're crossing all these places off on the map of places they're going to look for the Squid Games. Ironically, and tell me if I go too far, you can stop me at any time because this is probably the crazy plot twist of episode 1. The cop at the beginning pulls over a motorcycle rider for not wearing a helmet. And he had his girlfriend or a girl on the back of the motorcycle. So the cop, the brother, pulls over a random guy and basically says, like, you're getting a ticket for not wearing a helmet. So he's writing up the ticket. The girlfriend's trying to be like, oh, you look so good, Mr. Cop. Can we take a picture? But you so fine. The dude gets mad, gets his ticket and bounces, right? So that's that storyline there. What happens is the girl on the back of the bike that got left and the guy on the bike ends up getting the card with the 3 symbols on it to join the Squid Games. because the girl's
Hey,
pregnant.
wait a minute. Let me back up.
Yeah.
I missed that part. So you
Oh.
mean to tell me the people that was on the motorcycle, the girl that was in the office that was pregnant, and the
Yes.
guy that had the little bucket hat, that was
Yes.
them on the motorcycle?
Yes, that was the motorcycle.
Oh, I missed that. I missed that one. Oh, that's pretty good. I missed that. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
I
I thought
missed that one.
yeah, so I thought that was good. Yeah, crazy, right?
Oh,
So
man, I missed that.
so that's storyline 2 in episode 1. The cop is still looking for his brother. He kind of gave up. He was like, look, we went fishing. Now he wants to be a fisherman and catch, I don't know, squids. I think it is squids.
Yeah.
He wants to catch squids. Yeah. So anything to add to that storyline 2 before we get to the main one?
First off, again, I'll beat myself in the head. I totally missed that one.
That was dope, though, right?
Yeah, that was. And I was a little concerned because I thought the plot twist with the cop and the front man being brothers, I thought that was kind of cheesy in the first season. But I just find it interesting that I kind of knew that the cop was going to survive. But it's crazy when you have 456 a player and the cop all draining their time and resources trying to find this island. I thought that was interesting.
So storyline 3, and the most important one, we'll spend a majority of our time on. So the guy from season 1 who was recruiting players. Now you remember, 456 has the people that he owed all those money to looking for these guys on Subway for the last 2 years. So they finally find him. He's playing the game with somebody else on a random Subway. They call him because they're sending him pictures of Subways like every day. They're going out to Subways. So they find him. They call him like, we found him. He's taking off. And they were like, chase him. Right. This whole episode is the greed of money. That's what it should be called. The greed of money. So the dude was like, follow him, but don't intercept him. 456, player 456 is like, follow him, don't intercept. They find him. They follow him. They get it in all the way to like, a park? Was it where the bums were hanging out? The homeless men were hanging out?
This main park that we're at,
right. So they're at a park, and the guy decides to play a game. So before that, he goes to like a donut shop or like a Starbucks kind of thing, and he gets like 100 bagels, filled bagels, some type of pastry. He's going, and he gets 100 lottery tickets. So he goes to the homeless men, and he offers them both of them, like a lottery ticket or a bagel or whatever it is. And they had to choose one or the other. I think probably 90% chose lottery tickets.
Yeah. There's only one person they showed in the video that actually took the bread.
Okay. I thought there was more than one. I thought I might have missed it. But yeah. So one person took the bread. So of course, when they lost the lottery tickets, because they lost every one, they were pissed and wanted the pastry back. And he was like, nope. And he took off with the pastry. So he did this for probably 30, maybe more. I don't know, a lot of people. And then he ended up dumping the pastries all out in front of him and stepping all on them, kicking all on them, and said basically, y'all had the option to choose this. Y'all didn't choose it. Anything to add to that I missed?
Yeah, no. I think you covered it all. I just thought it was interesting. They're showing a darker side of this gentleman with the card game, because in the beginning he seemed like a normal businessman, which you'll probably reveal later. But this is a kind of especially when he starts stepping on the pastries,
right?
That that was a side of him we didn't see in season 1. Kind of very sinister type of side to him and stuff. So then, I'll let you continue.
He's paid by Squid Games to go recruit people. So do you think he's just doing this on the side? Like that's like his side thing?
I mean, I was going to give my thoughts on it, but I figured you was going to cover that in a little bit after this portion, because there's a part in this episode where he actually talks about how he was recruited to do the job that he was doing now.
Okay, yeah. So so those two guys that found him, they keep following him. So ironically, 456, while chasing him, he gets pulled over by the cop who is the brother.
Yep. Yeah,
And they
but
run,
he
and
didn't make contact with him though. He
right, his
kind of
partner.
laid back. He didn't realize it till after his partner gave him a ticket, and he just sped off because he was speeding off because he was trying to find the guy they've been looking for all this time for 2 years. You know, the guy was playing the card game, the recruiter.
Right. So they pull him over. He got to pay $60, which is nothing to him. He just takes off. So meanwhile, the greed of money is what this episode needs to be called. These two freaking Larry and Curly, Dumb and Dumber, whatever you want to call them, they say, you know what? We could take this guy by ourselves. They find him in an alley. They chase him down an alley, and they say, we could take him ourselves. They run up on him, and this dude beat the living crap out of him. He hit him with a suitcase. His suitcase just basically beat him up. And yeah, beat him up. Anything to add before I go on to the next part?
I was a little bit surprised at how this guy was able to defend himself. He's like, he's no regular like recruiter or errand boy. I mean, the way he was fighting those two thugs off with a suitcase. I mean, the guy pulled out a knife, and he treated him like he was nothing.
Yeah,
all while not messing up his suit. It was very impressive.
I can't forget that. So fast forward to the scene. Dude is upset because his dudes got caught. The dudes that were going to pay. So it fast forwards to probably one of the two best scenes of the episode, where now we fast forward to Russian roulette. So he has these two dudes taped up. They have a gag in their mouth. They have blindfolds on. He opens up the blindfold, and they're right across from each other. They have rope across their chest so they can move their arms but can't move basically away. So he says, we're going to pay a game of rock, paper, scissors. But he said rock, paper, scissors. It was like shoot, switch, or choose one. Or?
Yeah, it was something about elimination or something.
But like, he was like, you do two hands.
And then, yeah, exactly. I never played that way before.
No, it's pretty. So you go rock, paper, scissors, shoot, and you got two options. So DC would put out his two options. I put out my two options. And then he says, like, basically leave one or pick one. And DC would have his two out. And then I would move one away. And hopefully, like, if he had paper, mine was scissors. And if he had rock. So it's quite interesting if you think about how it was. And then the loser was playing Russian roulette. But the guy was doing the whole thing. So he spin the revolver, shoot the guy. There's a bunch of clicks. So he got frustrated. So he was like, you know what? We're going to change this from 1 to 6 odds, or 1 to 6, odds, to what is it? 5 to 1 odds?
Something like that.
Yeah. So basically you're dead. I mean, basically that's it. So my question to you is, I know this is dark, but say this was me and you playing. What would be our strategy to get us out of this?
Well, first of all, what strategy you gonna use? We're tied up. There's no way of getting out of it.
So if you saw, go ahead.
I mean, because like one, I think the recruiter who came up with this game, this sinister game, he knew it was gonna take forever. That's why he started changing the odds to kind of like move the game along and make it more interesting. But to your question, if we were both tied up and we were in that position, first of all, somebody's got to go. There is no way we're going to be able to get out of that unless I look at you and you look at me, and I can tell, like, hey, yo, I'm getting my hand free. We got to stall or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I mean, maybe that, but anyway, and this kind of underscores the whole dark theme of Squid Game, because even in season 1, you had these two guys, 456 and a guy who passed away or was killed himself in season 1. No, not the old man. The guy that 456 was fighting in the last game. They were childhood friends.
Yeah.
And he couldn't kill him, but the other guy who died, he would have surely killed 456 for the money.
Right.
And it kind of relates to the old man in the bed was like, look, do you still believe in humanity? Because the old man was like, his point was, there's no one in humanity that cares about somebody else. Everybody's out for themselves. But 456, which I might add, when Squid Game first came out, I remember an old Facebook post I made, and I said, "I am 456" because I relate more to that
Oh,
character. I'm
I
more or
do
less
remember that. A
like
long
him.
time
Yeah, yeah,
ago.
yeah. I'm more or less like him. Big fan of
Yeah.
456. But anyway, again to your question, the only one is we had the idea, some kind of look that like, yo, I'm getting free, like stall,
Yeah.
stall. You know what I'm saying? We keep throwing rock at the same time. Rock, rock,
Yes.
rock,
Yes.
rock. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So
It would have to be something like that. And you better freaking play along. Like rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
look,
You just do the same thing over and over.
anybody in the comments, if y'all know Pete and y'all know me, y'all tell me which one of y'all would say, y'all would think between the two of us would say, all right, I'm going to win. He got to go. I'm trying to survive. Which one of y'all would do it? I think Pete would be the one to try to kill me.
Nah, man, I got you. We just got to be together.
No, man.
We got to be
Scorpio,
together.
man. You a Scorpio, bro. You're like, oh, well, when you're done, right?
Y'all watch that part. It's a great part. But anyway, he switched the numbers where he puts 5 bullets in a chamber of 6 and he spins it and they have to play. But he said, let's speed them up. So they started going with my strategy, rock, paper, scissors, shoot, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Right. So they were doing the same one. And then finally at the end, the dude chose rock and the guy chose scissors or paper. So one of them were losing, guaranteed. So ironically, the guy said, all right, put one hand behind your back. And the dude left both hands out there and got eliminated, got shot in the head and killed him. And then he's like, oh man, he plays his character so well. He was like, now that we're alone, we can have a chat. And the guy ends up telling him where the hideout is and where everything, what's going on and why they're chasing him. So he tells him everything. So fast forward, I don't think there's anything in between that of worthiness, really.
Yeah, I think there's one part we need to go back over. Remember when I'm gonna try to pronounce his name.
Oh,
Gi-hun, 456, sure. Right?
Yeah.
Gi-hun. He remember when he decided to leave the plane and try to find this guy. There was a time where they showed him driving to Seoul in a taxi. Excuse me, and he went to this bathroom, got butt naked, and went behind his ear and found this listening device. So this whole time, they have been tracking him after the game, which begs the question. Remember, they said, you won, go from there. Either they knew he was going to always be a problem, or is that standard practice for people who have won the game in the past?
I think they all were like that. We're all being followed, and then he just won. I don't think it happened at the end. I think it happened you remember that at the beginning when they rolled them all in on like gurneys?
Yeah. Oh, so you think that's probably when they did it?
Right. I think they just did it to everybody.
Yeah, good point. As insurance or something.
Mm-hmm. But
that's a good point.
So all right. So anything else that I missed of avoiding it before we go to the next part?
No, I think we got everything. I think, like I said, I think we covered the thugs that got employed by 456. We covered the other story with the cop being pulled out of the drink by one of the captains of the boat, and they was continuously searching this island. So like I said earlier, you got 456 looking for the guy that plays with the cards, and you have the cop looking for the island. So they're both doing it at the same time. Like you said, they eventually come together to some point. They haven't met each other yet formally after season 1, but eventually they're going to come to a head, probably to episode 2. But anyway, that's it.
All right. So, okay. So now it moves on to the end of the episode, which is the recruiter finds 456 and tells him a really interesting story. And in this story, you can go to that because you were kind of talking about that, how he got to be a recruiter and everything.
Yeah, so 456, what I thought was interesting was when 456 came to the motel, it's almost like he knew. So he goes into the hotel, there's the guy there with a pistol, the same revolver he used, which was even more eerie, is you can see the blood on his shirt and stuff.
Right, all on his
so
face.
He right afterwards, right? His face and stuff.
Yeah.
And 456 didn't seem concerned at all. He didn't have a gun on him, at least as far as I remember. He didn't have a gun. He had one when he was looking for him when he was like in the car, but he didn't have a gun on him. They didn't show it. So when he saw him, he was pretty much calm. He called this guy a lapdog, said that he
Man,
wanted to see his master and stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, that's a lot of balls for somebody with a gun in their hand, right? But you can see the determination in 456 is like, look, I'm not scared of you. Show me where your boss is. You're probably a dog. I don't want to speak to you. And then 456 kind of like relaxed. And he told this story about, do you think I started out this way? He said he started out as a young child working the games. And as he was working the games and he got further along, they gave him this gun. He said when they gave him this gun, he felt empowered. Like it's the first time in his life he had purpose. And he said it was one game when one contestant lost and he put the gun to their head. And he said, it was my father.
yeah,
And he said he shot him in the head. He said his father was begging for his life. He shot him in his head. And he said, that's when I knew I was cut out for this line of work.
that's
And he
crazy.
was just, and yeah, it's like, and then the way he explained his facial expressions, expressions, I like this because it's funny. The thug said it earlier. He's like, yo, something's wrong with this guy,
Right.
But you can see in his face something is wrong with this guy.
The crazy calm look.
Yeah,
Like he's so crazy, he's calm. But
Mhm.
so the recruiter was like, F it, we're gonna play this game to figure out because I'm not gonna let you leave. You're not gonna let me leave. So we'll just figure out in a game. So they end up playing Russian roulette again, but they change it this time. So the old Russian roulette is you put a bullet in, flick it, shoot. If it doesn't go off, clicks, you do it again, flick it, shoot, doesn't go off. So he said, F it, we'll just flick it one time. And then in the next 6 shots, somebody's going to get shot. So they're going back and forth. And the dialogue between those is so perfect. It's probably one of the best like criminal, bad guy, good guy dialogues in a short part. I ever seen. I ever seen in a series before. So the guy was like, that's when you're talking about, he called him a lap dog. And it's like, yo, dude was like, I don't even know how you won. You're just a lucky player. And we're just going to prove, or this is going to prove whether it was luck or skill. But one of the best parts to me was at the end when there was only 2 bullets left. And so the 456 was either going to shoot, click, and then the other guy was going to definitely die, or is shoot, bang, and then, it's going to be over. So the guy says something I was thinking like, why don't you just shoot me, pull the trigger 2 times, just shoot me, and the keys are right here in my pocket to the person you want to go talk to. And 456 thought about it. They just put the gun to his head and he slowly started pulling the trigger, and the guy was like, you're just a lucky player. You're not basically, what'd he say? You feel that how your mind is racing right now in this moment. Because it's either going to click or he say, so I know you feel your mind. And he ended up pulling the trigger real slow. It's click. He gave him the gun. Now, when he gave him the gun, I thought he was just going to shoot 456. I really did.
No, I knew he wasn't. I could tell by looking at him. Plus, it's too easy.
Yeah. So what's up, McCoy? So he put the gun to his head. We're talking about Squid Games season 2, episode 1 review. So he put the gun to his head, and 456 was like, I know your mind is racing right now. And he basically said the same thing right back to him that he just said. So I found that really interesting. I found it really ironic. I found it very, like you said, sinister. And I also found that dialogue between good guy and bad guy just so perfect. Everything about that last 10 minutes was just perfect. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought the determination in 456 eyes and the dialogue was poignant, man. He was it would have been easy for him to use the gun and shoot the recruiter, but I honestly feel like it did not even cross his mind. I think after the game in season 1, it's almost like he was on a mission to prove to the people that ran these games that he was not a loser and that he can beat the odds. Because you remember in season 1, when he was with the old man near the end of the season, when he was watching the old man in the cold, and when somebody actually went out there and helped him, he's like, look, somebody actually helped him. And then when he looked over, he saw the old man die. He said, I know you've seen this. I won. You know what I'm saying? And so this one with the recruiter, I think he wanted to show the recruiter he wasn't afraid to play in that, because remember the recruiter kept telling him that he was a loser and that he was gutter trash just like everybody else. And then
I forgot.
I think 456 wanted to show him like he's not afraid of him. He's not afraid of people's running the game, and he's not a loser. And that's why he went through with the rest of the game they were playing.
Right. But that was the end of season 2. He ended up shooting himself, and then it quickly went off right after that to the credits. I didn't see a preview for episode 2 yet, so I'm blind to the fact of what happened on episode 2. Quick predictions on maybe episode 2.
I think what's going to happen is I think the cop is going to encounter with 456.
Definitely.
They'll probably share some notes, and then maybe together the both of them in two different pathways are going to try to go back and get to the bottom of all these games and stuff. Because I do remember from some previews, 456 actually does don the green and white, or what they call a Newport cigarette suit, and plays with a new crop of people. But there was one portion where I think they did red light, green light, when he's going to tell them not to play or something to that effect. So that's going to be interesting, because the front man is still there. So why would they allow him to go back to the game? I'm curious how he's going to do that. Is he going to disguise himself? And if so, it didn't last long, because they actually show his face. He actually colors or dyes his hair back to black.
Right.
So he looks just the same. So that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I didn't see any previews or anything. So I think, like you said, the cop and 456 are going to work together. I actually think they're both going to go to the games together and try to figure out how to infiltrate that way with working
which
together.
Which is weird, because it's not like they're undercover. They're going from the previews I've seen, they're not disguising themselves.
But I think Squid Games feel like, excuse me, they have so much control over the games that they don't care. Like if you mess up, you're just dead. And so they're probably, the odds are against them, 450 something players, and you're going to survive not once, but twice. And both of them got to survive. So we'll see. I'm interested to see what games are going to get played. But quick to end, your reaction or your grade on episode 1, season 2.
I'll give it an A+, man. It was good.
Yeah.
You're always concerned when folks bring back a series. There were a lot of speculation from some folks that felt like it was a bad idea, especially this terrible game they made. Like, I forgot what they call it. They made a game based off a Squid Game called Beast Game or something.
Oh, yeah.
So when you have such high expectations, it's always a concern whether or not they're going to deliver. But so far, so good. Episode 1 of season 2 had a lot of action in it, had a lot of things that kind of like, that made you think like, wow, it just caught you off guard. Like I said, the motorcycle thing was interesting. I missed that part. And although I will admit, I know they're dead, but it would have been nice to see, I forgot her name, but the girl from North Korea, she was one of my favorite characters too. And then the guy that was at the end of the game with 456, I know he's dead too. Would have been nice to see them, but I'm looking forward to episode 2. I'm trying not to binge watch it,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'll probably wait till tomorrow, but we can talk about when we're going on again for episode 2. I don't want to get too far ahead because I'll start forgetting and start crossing episodes. But if this is something we continue, I think it'll be fun to do. It's only 7 episodes. I know some people are going to binge watch it and be done with it tonight, which I respect.
I probably would have done it. tonight.
It was
I'm
good.
definitely going to watch episode 2 tomorrow.
Yeah, so if we do it tomorrow, we get back on tomorrow. Quick 30-minute show, but appreciate y'all for tuning in. Appreciate those that will tune in. Sorry for the spoil alerts, but that's what you're going to get, because we're going to watch it and spoil it. So we'll give you all the
good ask anybody when y'all watch this, whether y'all watched it live or you watch it later on YouTube. Put down in the comments what your favorite game was from Squid Game season 1. Mine was the last game when they were walking. What was in the last game? It was the last game before the last one. Walking on the tempered glass. That was one of my favorites. To your part about greed, if you're on the clock I mean, are you gonna push somebody over and to the side just so you could get ahead? And then you had that one man, if you remember, he said he was a glass maker and he could tell the
Oh
difference
yeah,
between the
yeah,
tempered
yeah,
glass. Yeah, and
yeah,
he was like,
yeah.
the guy was like, yo, why you ain't tell us before? He said, oh, if I told y'all would have
Y'all
killed,
maybe
y'all would
go
have killed a
first.
bunch of other people. Yeah, y'all
Yeah,
would maybe go first or whatever. So that is a classic example, and I think it underscores how society is today in some cases. That every
great
man
point.
for himself mentality. Yeah,
The greed of money, the greed of
mhm,
money. But I think
yeah.
red light, green light will always be my favorite, just because
Oh yeah, that
the
was a good one.
time it came, unexpected
Mhm,
of everything, and how everybody, the very beginning where that one dude was like, "Oh shoot," ran, and then he got
mhm,
shot, and everybody's like, "Oh," and they took off, and just people were dying
mhm.
everywhere. So, and then it was like, "Oh, this is for real," and they, so I think
Yeah,
red light, green light, but the glass thing will definitely definitely number two. Like the other games with the licking of the snow comb, or not the
I didn't like that one too much.
honeycomb, like that was kind of stupid.
Yeah, the little cookie or whatever.
Yeah, the marbles was kind of interesting because you picked a
That was
partner.
interesting.
I like the plot twist when they were like, pick a partner, you think that's your dude, and like, hey, one of y'all got to die. It's like, yo, that is
Mhm.
so crazy. That's the one game where I'm gonna get competitive. Like, yo, one of us got to go. We might as well like be competitive. The rock paper scissors, we better work together. Work together.
Why can't you work together in marbles?
No, because somebody has to die.
Well, isn't
Because
it the
if
same for
the
rock
time
paper
runs
scissors?
out, then both people die. Like some people were like, Nick Ramsey in the building. Some people were like, let's just wait until the last second and whoever gets the closest marble won. No, I'm not doing that. We
I
playing the
don't
whole
see
game
the,
out.
the I don't see the difference between you're both at life or death stakes. I would argue the guy with the gun, your time is limited there because the only rule is you got to pick rock paper scissors. You're
We
on
just
limited
gonna pick the
time.
same thing.
Wh-
Let's
he
do.
just, all right, whoever gets to say, whoever picks the same thing again, you gonna get the bullet. Then what's gonna happen?
Well, we'll talk about that when it happens. But that stalls
We're
us.
gonna
It gives
just
us
talk.
time. That
We had to
stalls
think
us.
it out about.
Look, just stay with me. See, this is why we wouldn't make it, because you always want to be the hype man. You want to be the front man. Just stick with me on this. I'm gonna get free. I'm gonna put my paws on them because we know you can't fight. So I'm gonna put my paws on them while I'm beating the shit out of them. I need you to get free. Oh, sorry. While I'm beating the out of them, you need to go ahead and get free and get ready to help me out in case something goes wrong. And that's the
You say
strategy.
so. I
That's
just don't see
You're a
how that's going to work.
Sagittarius.
But hey,
You're a Sagittarius. Listen to the Scorpio. Listen to the Scorpio. We will set you right. We will
if
set
I
you right.
listen to you, I bet I say nothing wrong. Because to your point, like you said the other day, once you cut somebody off, you cut them off. So hopefully, when we're in that position, I didn't piss you off the day before, because then you're gonna be out to get me killed. So
That's right.
I
All
keep that
right.
in mind.
Well, appreciate you for coming on for a quick episode, man. It's fun, man. Episode 1, Squid Game season 2. Y'all check it out. Don't binge watch it, man. Stay with us. Stay with us. We'll get you from episode to episode all the way through. So stay with us. We'll get you there. You got anything to say before we go off?
No, again, to your point, thanks for listening, everybody. If you haven't get a chance, check out the season. And when you get back on, be nice to hear your thoughts on whether you think Squid Games is great, bad, overrated, underrated, whatever. I personally think it's going to be, in my opinion, the best. There's some good ones out there, like what's his name? What's that season name? With the one guy on Amazon. Tyler Perry did a season on it. It was terrible. Anyway, it was a cop show. I can't remember the name of it, but everybody said that was good. But for me, Squid Game is going to be the season series of the year. I think it's that good. It's a
Yeah.
compelling story. Plus, it's actors you don't normally get to see, and I personally think the actors 456 is a phenomenal actor, phenomenal actor, and I think that's what makes it interesting.
Great point. All right, y'all. Unpopular celebrities, diverse and inclusive. We out here. Peace.